Hi Stampers, it's Lisa with Queen Bee Creations. Welcome to today's live. We're going to be doing kind of a simple card today, but I really love this new die set that we have. Look at these really cool, like almost realistic looking craft items. How fun is this, right? So we're going to play around and we're going to make a peekaboo card, and we're going to be doing some mix and match with our colors, and we're using adhesive sheet to make it super simple to put together. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to welcome everyone and encourage you, if you're live, to put in hashtag prize patrol. That is how I collect names. Actually, the computer is collecting names in the background, and it's going to pick out a winner to get today's card. And then I have to get my act together and start putting them in the mail. I'm about a month behind. I apologize. They are all sitting here, and actually the envelopes are even addressed, but I need to get them finished up and in the mail. I'm going to start out with a Misty Moonlight card base, and I'm actually going the different direction this time. I'm going 11 by 5.5. Normally we're 5.5 by 8.5, and then we score at 4 1/4, but we just kind of cut it the other way. It's always still cut in half, score in half, but we're doing it so it opens this way. So just a little something different. It can be done both ways, but I liked this one. And then I'm going to have a piece that's going to go on the front of our boho blue that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I have the same thing in white for the inside. And then I have a bunch of little scraps. So I have some in early espresso, basic black, basic white. I've got a silver here. Just all the little pieces we're going to need for this. And then I have just a tiny scrap of designer series paper. I just kind of reached into my scrap pile and grabbed one that was a really small pattern because I wanted it to look good going through the trimmer and look like it kind of meant to be there and was the correct size. So let's get started by taking a look at our dies. I'm, of course, using basic shapes. You know how I love that. And then we're going to be using the Crafting with You. So I realized I forgot crumb cake. We're going to need that. I'm just going to grab a scrap of that, because I'm going to cut this hoop out of crumb cake, and then I'm going to use a smaller die to cut inside. And so that's going to give us the peekaboo. Here's our scissors, and here's our trimmer. There's lots of really fun things in here. There's these little spools that you could cut out, you know, in a neutral color. And then look, they've got little, like, it would be the twine that goes on it. So you could do them in 2 colors and come out with something really fun. They've also got this neat little basket that's got the embossing on it. Here's little buttons. And then, of course, all these little dies are going to cut out several things that are in here. So we have our sewing machine and our die cutting machine and our brushes. And here's the frame. Here's the, just lots and lots and lots of things to play around with. Yeah, it's that way. So, oh, and then this is actually a stamp in the middle here. And so there is a die that goes with that as well. So look at all those things we can die cut. How fun, right? I always love it when there's extra little pieces too. Like there is no stamp that goes with this, but we're still going to create something super fun. And then, like I said, I wanted something just a little bit smaller. So, yep, that's going to be that one. And you may be wondering, how are we going to get the peekaboo to like go all the way through? And I'm going to show you. What we're going to do is we're going to bring in our larger die cutting machine. Hang on while I try to zoom out. We're going to start die cutting our pieces. So here's our hoop. Let's start with the scissors and silver and the die cutting machine, which I probably left under this. No. Oh, where did I set it? You guys probably see it, right? I just had it in my hand a minute ago. Ah, there we go. All right. Whenever somebody gets a new die cutting machine and they hear it making all that cracking, they think, oh no, I've broke something. But no, that's the way it's supposed to sound. I don't know why, but it does. Nothing wrong with it. So I don't know if you can see, but this cut out in two little pieces. So there is that would be the blade that goes in it. And then there's our actual trimmer. Now it doesn't really look like a trimmer right now, but we're going to make it look like one by piecing. If you've been around a while, you know that we love to do something called paper piecing, and that means that we're going to kind of cut it apart and glue it back together. Oh, and this one actually cut out like that, but it gives us the stitch circle that we can use on something. And then there's the hoop that we just need to poke out of there. I have to give it a little bit of a jolt with the take your pick tool, and then use these. These are called ejection holes, and they're there for the sole purpose of helping you pop that out. So don't be afraid to just take your pick tool in there. Here's our scissors. How's everybody doing this Monday? Did you have a good weekend? We had a really freaky hailstorm yesterday. It was very intense at our house. And our yard actually started flooding. Like there was standing puddles of water on our lawn, which is something I have not seen since we moved here. So we got a lot of rain really quickly, and it came down hard and had great big hail in it. I was for sure it was going to start denting the cars, but it didn't. Funny part was my husband was barbecuing at the time. And so we're watching all these hail things hit the barbecue, and it's just like turning into steam because it was so hot. It's pretty funny. And then when he went out to like actually pull the steaks off of the barbecue, he took a I tried to offer him a umbrella, and he didn't want that, so he took a cookie sheet and he put the cookie sheet over his head as he ran out there. It was the funniest thing. All right, so now we're ready to do the hole in the card. And so I'm going to bring in our card base because we want the hole to go through that, but also through this right here. So I'm going to set that right there. Okay, so that went ahead and it cut through both layers. And so I have 2 circles here. Now I did it without actually gluing this down first because I wanted to show you that we can die cut the hole through and then dry emboss this. If you had a very subtle embossing folder, that would look really cool to just emboss this and then put it on here. And then our hoop is going to glue right around it. Oh, that's a fun idea, Ginger. Ginger said she made a peekaboo card with a circle for George Washington's face to peek through as they put dollar bills inside. What a fun idea. Oh, can get rid of that. Okay, so since I'm not going to dry emboss this, I'm just going to go ahead and put it on there. I'm going to use liquid glue because I want a little bit to go around this circle and then around the edge. And I want it to be able to move around because I want that hole to line up exactly the way it was. And then I need just a teensy bit of glue on this. And I probably should have used adhesive sheet on this too. I didn't think about it, which is silly because I thought about it on everything else. Oops. Okay, now that got a little bit of excess glue, which I'm going to just use my fingers to rub off. And sometimes that works. And sometimes you get a little bit of sticky residue left behind. And if you do, that's when you would bring in the adhesive remover. This is just a square of rubber. We used to sell them at Stampin' Up. Now I find them at the dollar store, of all places. I'm sure you could find one on Amazon, but it certainly wouldn't be $1. But I can just rub this along the edge, and that's going to pull that off. And we're going to have this on the inside. So I was going to do the cut and emboss machine down at the bottom. I did it in boho blue. Because I was kind of sticking with the paper crafting theme. You can do your knitting or crocheting and your sewing, and then your painting. Lots of different crafts, but we're all paper crafters, right? Next one up. Did you all know that our blocks have the letter of what they are right there on the side? So if you're ever wondering if you need to order more blocks and you're wondering which ones they are, this is a C and this is a D. And we can tell that by the block. Because sometimes I just go, I use this particular size all the time. Which one is it? And that makes it super easy. Or if you're taking a class and they say, grab your C block, or, I think even in the catalog, they're going to tell you which blocks go with each stamp set. Oh, I knew I needed it for something else. We're going to do the You Inspire Me. So I'm going to put this on my grid paper, lining it up on a straight line. And then I'm going to take my block and line it up on a straight line and hope that that makes us straight. I'm going to be brave and I'm going to glue it in and then stamp. But if you're worried about it, You can certainly just set it in there gently without adhering it, stamp, and then if it looks okay, then adhere it. So to give you some time or the ability to flip it over if it didn't work as planned. I think that came out okay. And now we get to play with our paper piecing. And so that's where I'm going to bring in what we die cut. So here is our brown one. This is an early espresso. And then we have one in basic white. And then I have the scissors in the silver foil and then in black. Oops. Have y'all shopped the sale going on right now? They have 13 different designer series papers all on sale. They're all 15% off. So that's all out there on the website. Great way to save money. Although I chose to save even more money by becoming a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I started out, the first time I ever did it, I did it just for the discount because I loved Stampin' Up! Products, but didn't feel we could afford them. I had little kids at the time and it seemed expensive. But when they said, oh, you can get a 20% discount, I was like all in because right now you can get actually more than that. They're going to give you $155 worth of product for $155 worth of product for $99. And then they're going to ship it for free. So you will already save a ton of money just by buying the kit, and you never have to buy anything else if you don't want to. But if you decide you want to, it's all going to be 20% off through at least, if you signed up now, it would be the end of October. Oops, there we go. So just another way to save money. Now I'm going to cut this apart. And then I'm going to glue this one on top of the other. So I'm just cutting along the score lines. And I'm doing it this way because this is what matches the trimmer itself. I wish they had a little stamp that would do the ruler on here. I didn't feel like I could do that with a pen. It wasn't fine enough when I tried it. Now see, this one, I want it to cut out there. So it is cut here, but I want to bring my scissors in further. There we go. So it's giving a little bit of a, I don't know, a bump out for where the trimmer guide is going to be. Or track. All right. And I love the way this die cuts because it actually cuts the track so that it does lift up and you can put your paper under there. And then this could actually fold out if you wanted it to. It shows the little slice in there. Now, because I have adhesive sheet on the back, this is going to be really easy. We're just going to peel off the backing. And then I'm going to set it on top of the other. So I'm bringing this in and being very gentle and careful to try to get it right on the edge so that it lines up perfectly. See, it looks more realistic already, doesn't it? Just by putting the two colors on it. But then I'm going to take this one, which is our blade. I don't know if you can see, there's a little indentation in it. It's embossed, so that's going to go vertical so that it matches my paper cutter. Isn't that cute? And then the last thing I have to do is just stick the paper in it. So this is a piece of our countryside inn. Anyway, it was the piece of paper that I grabbed that had a very small design on it so that it doesn't look out of proportion. Okay. And I don't know if you can see, but I wrote adhesive sheet on the back of this one because it was basic white. When it's in the folder in my scrap bin, I have a hard time telling which one is the adhesive sheet one because it's the same color. Okay. But it's really sticky. And actually this happened last time too. It was just a little bit too long. I didn't want it reaching the hoop, so I'm just going to give that a trim. And then we're down to our scissors. And I just wanted the blades to be silver and the other part to be black, the handles. That's the silver one. I wanted to keep, there it is, the black one. I know it's a really teeny piece. But let's see, we're going to start with putting our handles on. So I'm just cutting off the handle part. And the adhesive sheet just makes this so easy. If I had to do this with glue, I'd probably have a huge mess. There's one. Okay, and so now I'm ready to put it down on the paper. I'm going to start with the one that does not have the hole and peel off our backing. And I'm putting the one with the hole on top because I'm going to stick the black dot in there so it looks like it has the screw that the scissors hinge on. Because see, look at what a difference that just having that little dot in there makes. Makes it so much more realistic. I know it's a teeny tiny piece and Pulling the backing off is kind of not fun. But if you can do it, it helps. And again, that adhesive sheet is saving the day. So there we go. There is our cute little card. So what do you think? Has everybody put in hashtag prize patrol so they are into the drawing? While I have you, I wanted to share with you too, you may be like me and have a whole lot of leftover little scraps of designer series paper. And in the 6x6 in particular, I find that I cut a piece that is 4 by 5.25, and then I have 2-inch strips left. Like seriously, lots of 2-inch strips left. So I was sitting around the other day trying to figure out what to do with them. I have so many, and it's just, I can't bring myself to throw them away. I know they're retired. I know I can't use them in videos, but I can use them for thank you cards. I can use them for personal things. I can sell them at craft fairs, and I needed ideas. And so I poked around on Pinterest a bit and found some really cute stuff. For this one, it was put onto strips, like they were straight strips side by side all the way across, and then I cut them and then laid it down again, and it was glued onto white. The first, the individual strips were glued onto white, and then it was cut the other way and then glued on again. And so because it was glued on white the first time, these are all one piece. They're not individual little squares. I mean, there's no way I could glue that together. But once I had it in, when I was laying it down as the strips of DSP, and then after I cut it and was laying it down for my final layer, I used adhesive sheet both times, and it was a huge help. And I still thought it looked a little big, so I cut it smaller and liked this one better. But I think it looks so much like a quilt. Such a great idea. And then, of course, in other videos, I've done this idea, kind of the herringbone technique. So I did a couple of those. And then I did just some strips. And these would be really cute on the front of a card. And then all you need is, your little sentiment or, something that you could put on the front, and you'd have a beautiful card. And it only takes little pieces. A couple of them I had a little bit bigger piece. So I did this in our 5 in colors. And I did it with the glitter, or the glimmer paper, I guess they call it. So this will have a circle down at the bottom. Maybe even a bigger circle, and then cut it off so it's half of one, so it looks like the moon coming up. That would be cool. And then how about this? This was just taking those 2-inch strips and then just adhering them to a piece of white, and then I trimmed off from the back side, added a little twine, and then I used this stamp that is actually from today's set. So fun ideas that I thought I would share with you, because like I said, I can't bring myself to throw them away. It's just, yeah, I just can't. So maybe you're like me and those ideas will help. So come back on Thursday. We're going to tackle this bundle again, and we're going to make another really fun card. So thank you for being with me today. I really appreciate it. We are going to do our spin. So hopefully everybody has their hashtag prize patrol into the comments, because like I said, the computer is catching that behind the scenes. And I also had promised you guys when I hit 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'm going to do a drawing. And I've been trying to figure out how to collect everybody's name, because I go back and I get rid of the countdown the 30-second countdown at the beginning of all the videos, I delete that off of YouTube for replays because you don't want to watch the countdown, right? But it also deletes the chat, which at the time is not a big deal, but it had everybody's name. So I'm gonna go through and I will write down who's been commenting on my videos. So if you feel that you haven't commented or you haven't won Prize Patrol lately and you want to make sure you're in that drawing, please go back, watch a few more videos that are on replay and put a regular comment in there because that's where I'm going to pull everybody's name from. And then we're going to do a spin and somebody's going to win a $10 shopping spree. Let's make it a $20 shopping spree. We're going to do something fun. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed. I really appreciate it. And I want to share that with you guys. So at $20, you can get at least a stamp set, right? Or 2 pads of paper, you know, anything. And you're welcome to bump it up and make it a higher order if you want. But I wanted to thank you guys for sharing and commenting and subscribing to my YouTube channel because it's really helpful in building my business. And that's why I'm able to be here with you and sharing all these great ideas. So let's do a spin. There we go. And see who today's winner is. So there we go. Congratulations, Connie. You are today's winner. You want to go over to my blog and then up at the top in the address bar where you typed in queenbeecreations.net, you're going to add to the end of it /prize patrol. It's going to take you to a Google form where you're going to fill in your address and let me know where to mail today's card. So congratulations, Connie. And the rest of you, if you could please go back and comment on some of my old videos. And like them and, you know, share them with people. And I'm going to get your name into that drawing for the $20 shopping spree. So thank you for joining me. And I will see you on Thursday for another card using the Crafting with You bundle. Thanks. Bye.